How you doing, everyone? This is going to be part 2 of a torture test or evaluation of Pyrodex, black powder, and 777 in these Pieta 1860 Army revolvers. Part 1, I shot black powder in this one, and I shot Pyrodex pellets in this one. And the black powder one ran for over 100 shots until I got bored with the test and decided to switch to Pyrodex, and this one ran for 8. It ran 7 cylinders and then stopped on the 8th. So I had some people say that Pyrodex pellets that cause more fouling than loose Pyrodex. So even though I hate the smell of Pyrodex and I don't really want to have this powder, I bought a pound of Pyrodex P so that we can do a loose test. And I'm going to run that in the black powder gun, so that if the black powder gun that we know ran well with the proper cylinder gap, with GoX 2F and 3F, if it locks up with Pyrodex loose powder, then that will be sort of a validation of the first part of the test. So Pyrodex P in this one, and then some people asked to see how 777 does. So we're going to shoot 777 in this one, which is the pistol that we shot the Pyrodex pellets in last time. So if it locks up after however long, if it's similar to the results with the Pyrodex pellets, then we will have to reevaluate this pistol with black powder and see if black powder will run in it. And if it won't run with anything, then that will sort of invalidate this as a scientific test. It's not a scientific test. I don't claim to be scientifically valid, but I just ran black powder in this one, Pyrodex pellets in this one last time with similar cylinder gaps, similar treatment, just bore butter on the arbor, and this one locked up and this one didn't. So now we're going to switch it up a little bit, do Pyrodex in this one and 777 in this one. We're supposed to reduce charges 15% with 777, so I'm going to be loading 25 grains 777 in a 4.54 ball in this one, and I'm going to be using a lubed felt wad for both. I believe Hodgdon says don't use a lubed felt wad with 777 because it may cause problems. So disclaimer, I do not recommend that you do this, but in order to make the test as valid as possible, if it's getting any lube from the lubed felt wads, then I have to shoot lubed felt wads in both so that they're getting the same treatment. So that's a caveat. I don't recommend that you do it, so please don't. But I accept full responsibility. It's my pistol and it's my hand. So let's get to it. Let's shoot 777 first. So as before, we've got a generous coating of bore butter on the arbor. And then once I put the cylinder on, I will also reapply some more to the front of the arbor. The first cylinder of 777. Cap got knocked off, and that cap got sucked on. So let me recap that really quick. Using a Ted Cash snail capper. Well, seems okay. That last hammer was stiff already, but it seems to be loosened up. Man, that 777 is pretty smoky already. All right, let's load her up again and see how she does. All right, this is cylinder number 2 with 777. Looks like it's shooting high to the left. So I'm already getting, the hammer is not falling. that I got with Pyrodex with this pistol. So it may have something to do with this pistol, but the cylinder's still turning and I can still cock the cylinder with normal hand pressure, so we're going to keep going. Alright, this is cylinder number 3 with 777. See if I can hit these plates at all. See, I'm hitting high on those other guys, so let me hold lower. Is that 5 or 6? That's 6. So the cylinder's still rotating freely. The hammer, that's stinky. If you pull the trigger, it certainly has enough power to go forward, but as it did with the Pyrodex, it's getting kind of crunchy. Boy, this stuff really smokes up the range. And this is with the vent fans on high, so of course you don't shoot black powder indoors very much, but let's just keep going. Alright, this is cylinder number 4 with 777. We're going to hit that top plate here. That hammer is feeling crunchy. Can't see anything. Starting to get a little sticky. I gotta let this range vent a little bit because I'm gonna die of asphyxiation. Alright, this is cylinder number 5 with 777. Wedge is coming a little bit loose, so I'm going to have to tap it back in and recheck the gap. Cylinder gap is set at less than 5 thousandths. It's my smallest gauge. But the wedge is loose, so I'll fix that and we'll do another cylinder. Alright, this is cylinder number 6 with 777. See if we can hit these plates again. That was cap jam so that I could demonstrate to you my terrible flinch. So it's feeling really crunchy now. See that the hammer doesn't go forward. Let's try one more. Alright, this is cylinder number 7 with 777. Got away this time. And got knocked off, I think. Needs another strike. Let's see if it goes. Wedge pin is out. Cylinder moving forward. So cylinder moved forward forward, so there wasn't enough force to hit the. There you go. So this cylinder wedge has come loose twice. All right, I believe we're on cylinder number 8 with 777. Hammer is a little bit stiff. Cylinder seemed a little bit sluggish, but it still cocks with somewhat higher than normal thumb pressure, but it's still running, so let's keep going. Alright, this is cylinder number 8 with 777. Hit that guy. Stuff stinks. So I believe I miscounted. I checked the video and that last one was actually cylinder number 9. So this is cylinder number 10. See if I can hit those little guys. I have to aim about 1.5 feet below. How about that? Hammer effort is significantly higher. It's getting pretty crunchy. Hammer binding is a problem. Cylinder is gritty and it's taking some more effort. But it still seems to be moving. I gotta let the range vent, it's really nasty in here. Okay, cylinder number 11 with 777. Cylinder number 12 with 777. Lucky number 13. Cap jam here. Okay, that's 3 for this group, and I'm gonna have to let the range vent again. Alright, this is cylinder number 14 with 777. See if I can hit anything left-handed. Cylinder number 15 with 777. Number 16 with 777. Well, the hammer still doesn't want to fall, but under its own power, it falls fine. And it's still easy to cock, or relatively easy. So we'll do one more before I choke to death, and then that's 17, which is how long the black powder gun did the first evaluation. So if it's over 100 shots without adding any lube or any binding, having any binding problems, then I'm calling it good. And we'll move to Pyrodex. Alright, this is cylinder number 17, which puts us over 100 shots with 777. Fire on that one. Of course, I had to miss my final shot. Well, I consider that to be a success. As you can see, it's sucking caps. Or getting cap fragments, but that's to be expected. As far as the cylinder binding, the hammer is so I don't see anything to indicate that it will stop running anytime soon. And the cylinder feels fine. So keep the cylinder gap small. And 777 seems to at least perform as well as black powder did in my evaluation, which is 17 cylinders without stopping. Basically firing back to back and letting the range vent between. The black powder I could shoot in here. I shot probably 10 or 12 cylinders in a row, and I was still able to not die, but as you can see, the range is very smoky now. So I'm going to let the range vent, and then we'll shoot the Pyrodex pistol for a while. Alright, as with the other pistol, a generous schloop of boar butter on the arbor. I will put some more on the tip of the arbor after I slide the cylinder on. Okay, this is cylinder number 1 with 30 grains loose Pyrodex pistol powder. Let's see how we do. As with the first shots with the pellets, I'm getting kind of a hang fire on these. Every one of those was a kind of a momentary hang fire. And I did pop some caps on the nipples. Oh, I hate this way this smells. Cylinder number 2 with Pyrodex. See if I can. This pistol hits a little bit closer to point of aim, at least with this load. Alright, let's load her up again. Alright, cylinder number 3 with Pyrodex. See if I can hit the little guys. I think I'm going to take a break and let the range vent. Okay, this is cylinder number 4 with Pyrodex powder, loose powder. Cylinder number 5 with Pyrodex P. Number 6 with Pyrodex pistol. Great today. Number 7 with Pyrodex pistol. Something's amiss here. Cylinder number 8 with Pyrodex pistol. Where to hold with this thing. Stinky. Cylinder number 9 with Pyrodex pistol. Cylinder number 10 with Pyrodex. Hit that guy for some reason. Let's see. Cylinder feels pretty good still. The hammer's getting a little bit crunchy. Especially that last little bit, like on the other pistol, but it's not as bad as the other pistol. It still drops under its own spring tension. Alright, I believe this is cylinder number 11 with Pyrodex powder. Number 12. All right, this is lucky number 13. Alright, so now I've got a little bit of the hammer crunchiness. The cylinder seems to be pretty good. It's not to the extent of the other one, but it's definitely higher effort at this point. Cylinder number 14. Let's get these little guys. Ropes. Definitely getting more fouled, but the hammer's still able to rotate the cylinder under what I would consider not damaging amount of pressure. I believe this is number 15 with Pyrodex. This is cylinder number 16, Pyrodex. All right, this is cylinder number 17, which will put us over 100 shots with Pyrodex powder loose. The hammer is a little bit crunchy, like on the other one. But not bad. So, for this pistol and Pyrodex loose powder, with these wads and these caps, it looks like Pyrodex performs as well as black powder, at least in my test of functioning. I would say that the black powder pistol overall was better because it didn't get this crunchy hammer. And I just hate the way Pyrodex smells. It's terrible and it makes you choke. So definitely outdoors. I shot many rounds in the black powder pistol in the other test without having to let the range vent. The only black powder substitute that has not passed this 100 round challenge is Pyrodex pistol pellets, and that was in the other pistol, and Se7en ran for over 100 shots in that pistol. So I might try to shoot some Pyrodex pellets in this and see if it binds up, but I'll let you know what happens. Thanks for watching. Rate, like, and subscribe, and share, and maybe give me a little bit of help paying for this video. It was pretty expensive to buy all this supplies and stuff. Thanks, bye.